Let me see. It's almost very loose. I would say with maybe tomorrow it should be out. Think so? I think so too. Good afternoon. How are you all today? Beauty for hi, doing good. I finally caught a live video. Welcome, nice of you to join today. So how's the weather? It's water. It's raining a lot here in Florida today. Wow. We need some rain. It's hot. It's hot and stuff floating around in the air. We just need rain so we can clear the air. You would think I'm dehydrated. It's my second bottle. It's only 3 o'clock, but it's because it's ice cold. If it was hot, I wouldn't even drink it. Drink my water. Then I buy them. I stick them in the freezer. Hi, Faith Family and Fun Academy. How have you and the kids been doing? We've been doing good. Just hanging out and going to school and getting everything together. Got back to opening boxes.
I need that.
Will you tell me what that is? Because there are a lot of things right there.
The tape.
Well, here they are. I need to. Oh, you. Welcome to the show. They get a round of applause for showing up. Round of applause. I need to do hair.
No.
She's been up on this
I don't want to.
past couple of days.
Mom. I don't know about Aaliyah.
What you mean you don't know about Aaliyah? What do you have?
I love her.
You love her?
Yes.
Okay. Beauty Force says my kids enjoyed watching the video your kids caught the snakes. Oh my gosh, y'all! I don't even want to talk about snakes. What they caught, that wasn't even a snake. I have not shared yet. I'm gonna get it up tomorrow. Okay. I was on Instagram a couple days ago,
This is what I was
and
talking about.
I don't know if you all saw. Okay, go.
Saw it to my hand.
But in the backyard, I could not. Yeah, I was so there. Is that good?
A robot.
Can you get from under my chair, please? Kicking me. Um, it was almost dark, but it was still very light. But I know what I saw. I went into shock, and I was trying to. The first part of the footage, I was explaining what I was looking at, and I said what I was looking at. But then when I came back and started looking again, I was so shocked. I was trying to make it seem like that's not what I was saying.
I need some scissors to cut the
But then I couldn't figure out what it was because I was so, I don't know. But I had to look at the footage because the footage on my camera, my phone is not good at all. But on the vlog camera, yeah. And I think it's only about 5 minutes. So I'm going to put a warning before it. But yeah, that was a snake. So, and then we went ahead and identified it because that was my thing. I needed to know what kind it was. But even the kids were like, so that little thing they caught in that container. But what they saw the other day, they was like, "Oh, mom." I say, "Yeah, don't go out there." Get there. And it was eating a frog because I said in the beginning of the footage it was eating.
Poison.
So it was eating a frog, but that was the confusion because I couldn't see the thing's head. I saw a frog. It was a mess, and I didn't see back legs, and so that's when I thought salamander. But I initially saw that tail. I knew what it was. It just kind of, you know. Oh boy! But long as it's outside, but the neighbor's cats weren't in the yard, so I'm pretty sure they got it because it was relaxed at that point. So yeah, but that's Texas. They end up in across the driveways and all kind of stuff. It's crazy. So, yeah, if you can't handle that, Texas is not the place to be. Neither is the country. I can remember my Amy saying they were getting up one morning. Yeah, There was one laying across the couch. So yeah, let me get off this subject. So we are just here hanging out today. Tea time. You know, everybody's probably had lunch already. Some of you may have had dinner. But yeah, we're just gonna hang out, and chit chat, whatever you all want to talk about. I'm open. Has anybody had dinner? Is anybody cooking dinner? I know those of you that acknowledge today is Father's Day. Did you do anything special? Yeah. The kids love when they know other kids watch the videos, and they are mainly the ones that will tell me to record things. And they like watching other kids, especially good homeschool uh, families. They like watching other kids. It gives them inspiration as well. Mhm. Like I said, not much going on here. I just opening up some boxes, trying to get some more things situated in between doing other things, and it never happens till I get on here. Hmm. Oh, sorry for making a yawn. It was contagious. Oh, like I said, I didn't have anything particular I want to talk about. I have some things in the works. I'm just not, it's something I've been contemplating for a while, and I just needed to first move, and then just kind of get some things in order. But I am not getting ready to get into the plan. You all will see in time. But yeah, another venture. Like I don't have enough already on my plate. I think I'm getting ready to pull out a whole new plate with this one. But it's not anything that I cannot handle. It's not anything new. But, Getting ready to go to work. You already know I'm right here working and right here working. But me and my big ideas. So that is what I'm getting into. Getting ready to go to work. If y'all know me, I'm not a work for anybody. I mean, I do, but it's not what I'm talking about. No, no, no. Been there, done that, and I don't enjoy doing it when I don't have to. Kudos to those that can get up and do that. Only bonus to me going to work is I actually have hours. When I work for myself, I work 24/7. That is my OCD personality. Always going. Somebody had no dinner plans today? No plans today? Or are you home from an outing? Hmm. So quiet in here today. I was thinking about the chat, the homeschool chat from the other day, on Thursday. I think it was. No, that was Friday. I got a comment, a couple comments, but one in particular. And if you all did not see that chat and you homeschool, I encourage you to go and watch it. But I think the person, I don't want to call it, but from what I gathered from the comment, they took the information very shallow. And it just led me to just pause because I said, you have to be creative. And the comment came back as creativity, is considered, maybe considered a have. Um, some people are creative and, some people are not. It stresses them out and that type of thing. But like I said, she took it very shallow. And it was not even creative in the sense of crafting. Okay. It was crafting in a shallow sense. But she took it as, okay, everybody can't do that. And that's not what I was saying at all. And I even gave an example. Yeah, part of it was a craft, but it was no more than a piece of paper and scissors. What do you want me to do with this?
Tie it back.
And so, I don't know how you want me to tie it. What you want me to do to it?
Tie it.
If I tie it, it'll cut off your circulation. There you go.
Tie what?
It's good.
I'm cut what?
You're fine. Little bitty cut on his hand, on his finger. Yeah, but she said it's a have, and like I said, it was no more than me showing a piece of paper, and that was just the first example. And I know somebody might have thought that was, I don't know if you got it or not. Nobody said anything, but the thing somebody did bring up later, and I'll get into that in a second. I said this little thing, it's a reading highlighter. This little thing here. I've been seeing these in these halls. You put this over the book, and the kids can read the sentence or they can read the word. You don't even have to laminate it, but they sell them in a pack. 10 for $1 or something like that at the Dollar Tree. But I've been seeing them. But the point was, I didn't have to get in my car and go drive to the Dollar Tree and end up. Of course, you're not going to spend I don't even go to the Dollar Tree, first of all. And they're found other places. But the point is, getting in the car, wasting some gas, and then going to buy that plus some more unneeded stuff. Okay, so that was just one example of a craft. But I said, you know what? If you want to take it that way, I don't know. Go ahead and don't make a mess. Um, I don't know a parent that has not, when their child comes to them and asks for a airplane, has not taken a piece of paper and made the child an airplane rather than saying, all right, get your shoes on, let's go buy an airplane. That's a craft. Whether you consider it is or not, it's a craft. I want a playhouse. You got a cardboard box. What are you going to do? Go buy them a playhouse or give them the cardboard box? That's a craft. More likely the kid will take the cardboard box anyway and start drawing the little doors and the windows and all of that kind of stuff. That's a craft. Okay, but I was saying you have to be creative with your, with your lifestyle habits and your budget. And people, and what she was saying is everybody can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. Because there are times when you have no choice. I have seen and heard many people, is one person working and they lose their job. What do they have to do? They have to get creative. Down to the outings, down to the groceries, down to whatever it is, clothes, shoes, necessities. You have to get creative. So that, I told her, I said, I totally disagree with that. She didn't catch, obviously, and I said, somebody,
Mom, I tried to open the bag and I moved my teeth this way, so it's getting looser.
okay, somebody, when I showed the reading highlighters, we were talking about laminating sheets. And somebody said, well, I go to Sam's and get, 20 or 200 pack for X amount of dollars. It's cheap. But I said, you know what? I pay for the internet, okay? I don't want to pay for internet and gas if I don't have to. That's why I go online and buy every and anything that I can. I'm going to make that internet bill it's gonna be worth my money. So yeah, I could go over there and I can get some stuff, and yeah, you may lump it in with something else, but I'm going to stretch my dollar as far as I can. Thank you, man. Because that's what you have to do. Somebody, I can't quite remember who off the off my head right now, but somebody brought up somebody's been watching me for a long time. Sub to me cloth diapers. I saved them hundreds, and I said, yeah, that's a craft, you know. Um, Whether I made them or I bought them, having to learn how to use them and things like that, that afforded me to get what I need today for the kids at school. Okay, so that's what I meant by being creative with your priorities and creative with your budget. But she kind of missed, and I think again, it's probably because she didn't watch the whole thing. And so you guys come in, you gotta watch. I know sometimes they're long, but you have to. You might miss some important points not watching the whole chat through. So I try to be as thorough in the chat and just giving enough examples of kind of how we do things, because everything I show you all, it all fits together. There's no rhyme and reason. It all goes together. That's just how we live. Yeah, I think it was very important, and then the kid's dad comes home, at the towards the end of the chat. So he was weighing in on some of the things after a couple of other ladies in the chat had already weighed in and followed through on what I said. It made sense. But the whole gist is, don't set yourself up to homeschool if that's not that's not in your priority, in your true priority, your true budget, because all sorts of things happen in life. Like I said, the first one is a job loss. The second one is a loss of a spouse. So if your husband is the one that works and you lose him, then you're faced with the option of I have to go to work. So what happens to the kids? Can you maintain without going to work? And so that's why I said I have plans. I keep myself employed when I need to or when I want to, because I don't want to be put in that position. I've done the 9 to 5, and I don't want to do that if I don't have to for somebody else. But I know how to make money. I've seen, plenty of families, homeschooling families, suffer, from the loss of the mom or the dad, and that's the unexpected. It's sad. It's really sad. But on top of that, you don't want to have to deal with the stress of, what to do with the kids. Yeah, don't try to live that have lifestyle if you actually have not. Um, it wasn't to it wasn't to point the finger at anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything. It's just to get you to think that this is a big commitment for those of you that have not actually started, or those of you that are just coming into it. It's a commitment, it's a sacrifice. And so you have to be willing to cut whatever. And I also pointed out to that person, I said, everybody has a means. She was saying there's, not a means to budget or save money. It's exactly what she said. And I said, yeah, I disagree with that. Everybody has a means to save money. She probably was looking at, well, we can't just put $50 aside every month or whatever. Yes, you can, because you own a cell phone. You have internet. Get rid of your internet. And I said, the problem is that we live in a microwave society and people are not willing to give up those luxuries. And that's what I mean by being creative. If you are at home homeschooling your children, you don't need internet. I've done it without internet. Okay, you can do it. You don't need a cell phone because you're at home. That's the sad reality. Some people don't want to give up those luxuries at the expense of the children's education. Do it. There's plenty of sacrifices we make around here. Nobody is. You all see the payoff. We're not struggling for anything. I'm very proud of my child. She is going into her fourth year. She'll be graduating college next year. We're good. So I know for firsthand that the sacrifice is little. It's not anything to think about. I got rid of my contract. In fact, Sprint. I had Sprint, and because we grew up with Sprint, Sprint used to be house phone, U.S. Sprint. That's how I know about Sprint. We had U.S. Sprint in my home, my parents growing up, and so I always had Sprint. But you know what? Sprint got ridiculous, and I got tired of paying Sprint when I could go get somebody else and get the same service. So I got rid of the contract. It's not a track phone, but got rid of the contract. I only paid $45 and I'm good. I have everything I need. So, and if I choose to pay that bill that month, then I pay it. If not, I'm fine too. Just $45 I can go do something else with. We are not, we're not suffering. Yeah, I had to wrap my mind around that too. You know, I'm not gonna have my phone, but I went ahead and got internet and said, okay, I don't need both of them. It happens. It's on, it stays on because I can pay the bill. But again, if I had to sacrifice something, that would be the first sacrifice again. I'd go down the list and start cutting out things. It's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. I sit and I watch blogs too, just like everybody else, and I hear people, oh, pray for us, such and such happened. The refrigerator went out, the washer went out, the dryer went out, the air conditioner went out in the car. We need new tires, we need this and we need that. But then I see you going out to lunch, you going out to dinner, you going to the amusement park, you going to the store. Rewind. I'm not praying for that. Get your priorities in order. That's something you should have in the bank. You might not have all of it, but you cannot live like that. It just does not make sense. If my washer go out, you better believe the repairman is going to be here tomorrow. Here, what you need, because that's a necessity. For some, you can go to the laundromat, but if you say complain is a laundromat, oh, that's too much. Well, then again, your priorities. Where are your priorities? And that's just how I teach the kids. That's why my kids don't run around asking for this and that. They get when they need. I don't have them cry. Oh, I can't have that. They watching TV. They don't ask me that because they were raised without TV. So I don't have a problem. Um, they have been, I can't say broken, but they're not amused by mainstream, advertising. They're not amused at all. It just they look at it and the thrill is over. Every now and then they might ask for something, and we talk about it. But that right there is an expensive habit, right there. So you have to be careful what you bring in and what you expose the kids to. I'm not. That's just how we do. But I'm not the only one. I've talked to other people. I've talked to friends, and my experience is very similar to many families that have gone through so much, and they realize, the true value of sacrifice and things like that. Excuse me. I heard somebody tell me, a couple people actually, who were just talking about kids and hope for kids or what they want for their kids, and say, oh, I want my girls, I want my boys to grow up and get married and buy a house. And so I kind of have to side eye. I, y'all have to know if I'm not really, I'm not trying to judge anybody. Like I say, I've had this conversation with several people. Um, my take on that is, first of all, I'm saying you don't own a house. What makes you think your child is going to own a house? Because the majority of children that own a house or homes that are uh, of that mindset have parents that have done the same. That's just kind of a fact because it's just the lifestyle the parents live. They obviously had to work, they had to save, they had to prioritize, and so those kids were raised up in that. They knew the value of sacrifice. If you don't own a home, it's kind of hard to get that into your child because they're going to do what they want to do. And the thing about that is very dangerous is because 9 times out of 10, that kid don't want to get married or buy a house. And what's happening is you are trying to live vicariously through that child. And that's only going to push that grown child away because you're always going to be nagging like the mama boy syndrome. Don't nobody want to marry a mama's boy or a daddy's girl. That's what's going to happen to that child. And that's sad. It is very hard these days for these kids to make it. As many of you, the reason why you have not purchased homes is because you're paying off student loans that you got 20 years ago or 10 years ago. And that's what's going to happen to the children if you set them up to follow suit like that. That's why I advise mine don't take any loans. You will have a decent chance as long as you don't take any loans out. Because this day and age, it's all about money. And if you don't have it, you're not. I'm not saying we have to be rich because that's not the case. But the more you owe, the debt. We don't want any debt because it seems like these days you just get stuck. It's a trap. Yeah, you have to. 20 years ago, my mind was, I want to buy a house. And guess what? 19 years ago, I bought a house. 18 years ago, I bought another one. Okay? So that was where my head was. We had to get it together. That's what we wanted, and that's what we did. And then I wanted to buy another one. I wanted to build what I wanted. But there was a lot of sacrifice um, that had to come out of that. Oh my goodness. Let me go check on my child. She's screaming for something. So, um, and being that this kid is not going to stop, I'm not going to say, you all have never heard me say, I want my kids to grow up and get married and have children. My kids are going to do whatever they want to do, whatever they desire to be, as long as they are happy and successful with, what they consider successful. They're grown. They have to live their own life. I wouldn't want my mother to say, "Oh, child, I want you to go do this and do that." My mom never did that. My mom was proud that we made smart choices, and we did what we had to do. Now, at the same token, my mother never owned a home, and I have a different drive, and it's not because we were a military family, so it was really a little more because we were moving around a lot. They really didn't. They didn't want to buy a home, but they could have at one point. So I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but you have to be careful with that mindset. Okay. Once your children are grown and of age, let them live their own lives. You cannot micromanage them, even if they're living under your roof. You cannot micromanage them. Kind of talked about, as women, we need to define ourselves, and that kind of, went somewhere but kind of didn't. Yeah, we have to define ourselves as women, not just as mothers and wives. I talked about, uh, hitting your 40s. And, those of you who are not in your 40s, you wouldn't quite understand that. But once you get there, you're going to get that aha moment. And you'll understand. As, nothing nobody can tell you, but things just completely change. And, just watching my mom. My mom didn't call. She got up and started just driving places, on her off days, far places, just living her life. She didn't call me. She knew I wasn't working, or some days I was because I employed myself. But she didn't call me and say, "Come on, I'm going over here. Let's go over here." She was living her life. She didn't care about me, and that's what I said. I have to let my children live their own lives. I have to find something that makes me happy because they're going to grow up and they're going to leave. And I don't want to be sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I have to enjoy my own life. I can't pick up the phone, what you doing every 5 minutes because I'm bored. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully, from the experiences and examples that I give you all, you kind of put some things in perspective and really sit down and do some soul searching and some self evaluations. Outside of your marriage, do this for yourself. Do it for yourself. Where, if you had not gotten married, um, I'm not saying live in the past, but where would you be? Where would you want to be? Is there a possibility that you can still do something along those lines? Because a lot of us take on a role and we think we want it, like homeschooling. Some of us get into this homeschooling, and after a month or a couple of months or the first year, we scratching our heads like, what have I gotten into? Yeah. So that's what you want to look at. Are you actually being fulfilled in your role? If that makes sense. Anybody has anything to add or to share, comment? I'm open. I'm not shutting anybody out. I'm just, because it was kind of quiet. What's on my mind? Some of us are impulse driven, and I know that has a lot to do with personality and nature, and that's natural. I'm not an impulse driven person. I have to think things through and carefully, and have backup. Couple or two. Every I would sit and plan, or I would say not just I, but we would sit and plan. 5 years. Like the house, the first house, we didn't really. It was talk, but we didn't think that it would happen so fast, but it did. But we had a 5 year plan, and before that 5 year plan was up, we went in and made another 5 year plan and stuck with it, and it worked. Okay, it actually worked, and so I still do that today. You have to look out for yourself. If you have no idea, no direction in life, you're just going to be lost. It's just you're lost. Have a blueprint, a roadmap, or something. Not necessarily say that you're going to follow it to a T. You have to, this day and this time I'm going to do this, but at least have a roadmap. Okay. Lots of things happen unexpectedly, but if you don't set yourself up and have some sort of intentions, be intentional, then where you are sitting today, that's where you're going to be in 5 years. And that's something I've always said. I don't want to be in the same place the next 5 years. I don't, even though things are fine, I need to see growth. I talked about being 40. I'm looking forward to the 50s. I'm looking forward to the 60s because I know that the women that are there talk about those being the golden years. That's what I'm looking forward to. If it's going to be better then I can't wait. I need to get things taken care of that need to be taken care of now so that I don't have to worry about this stuff later on. Because I might miss my boat. Maybe Sammy says, I understood your comment of being resourceful, not necessarily crafty. Thank you, and that's exactly what I was saying, and that's what I was trying to get across to that person. But of course, like I said, there's some craft to it, and everybody does it. You're making things, you're making little games for the kids to use for homeschool. The little instead of buying the flashcards, you're making them. Everybody does that. Whether you consider that crafty or not, it's still crafty. You have some paper, you have some index cards, and that's what you do. You have to count all of that. So, but yeah, you have to be resourceful down to your meals and things like that. Everybody does that, and everybody. I cannot understand somebody saying unless they're just filthy rich, and even though if they are, those are the tightest ones. Yeah, we have to learn how to stretch budgets all the way around and sacrifice. What do you want, little boy? How am I supposed to wrap this?
It keeps on coming off
Well,
when I touch stuff.
it's because you don't really need it. Wendy says it's not going to stay because it's not what it's meant for. Everyone.
When Layla got bit by the dog, she needed it.
Okay, your thumb is okay. She got scratched. Uh, Everyone can be creative, as in resourceful, right? Not necessarily crafty. Exactly. Exactly. That is exactly what I was saying. Like I said, if you go back and read that comment, like she said about the saving, everybody can't save. If you're looking at, I can't. We don't have $50 a month. You do have $50 a month, or $25 a month, or whatever. You have it. Okay, you have to sacrifice that lunch, sacrifice that dinner that you're going, out to, sacrifice that movie that you're getting ready to take the kids to. Sacrifice it. Those kids are going to live. Okay, even if it's gifts, sacrifice them. How far are you willing to go? We all always think about people that are less fortunate. Oh, it's my child's birthday. I can't not give them something. What about the kid that doesn't get anything? Never had a birthday at all for those of you that celebrate Christmas. What about the child that does not get anything ever because their family truly cannot afford it? But here you are saying you can't sacrifice. That's selfish. I don't know, that may be just how you do it in your home. You think that's kids don't need that. Kids need love. Okay? They need love. They don't need stuff. Other than the necessities, they don't need all that material stuff. It was just interesting. Down the street yesterday, I saw some kids out. They were had a little sign up, and they were having a little yard sale, I guess trying to raise them some popsicle money or something. And I said, you know what, bless them little kids. You know, they were selling junk, but, you know, they had to hustle. And it was hot. Yes, not necessarily about crafts because crafts can be expensive. Excuse me. We were talking about arts and crafts, you know, and that you know that can be expensive. I don't promote I don't promote shopping on my channel. You guys know that. When I share, I'm sharing budgeting, how you can buy things on a budget. I'm not necessarily just sitting here. Oh, look what I got! Look what I got! Look what I. These are things that people need, things that you know people are looking for. Somebody's asked me, or something like that. You know, you all don't see every comment, you don't see every conversation that comes across my channel. So a lot of stuff is private. I'm looking at my window. Oh, that's where the majority comes from. But you know, when I do the thrift stalls and you know the eBay and things like that is to show you all that you can do things like that. And again, that's another reason why if I'm paying for internet, I'm on eBay because I don't want to go and waste any gas. I'm already paying one expense, so I'm going to you know, sacrifice that gas money. And not saying I'm getting ready to spend all the gas money because I'm just sitting online. But again, you can do that because you're not going out. And that gives me control of what I'm actually spending. Because if I went to the store, I may find what I want and then end up buying 50 other things that I really didn't need. But if I'm online, I'm consciously thinking, this is how much I'm going to spend, and that's how much I spend. So I'm like the kids, you know, watching the commercials on TV does not thrill me, and going through a store does not thrill me either. That's the reason why I have, you know, if you all have watched the product deliveries, things come to the house, laundry detergent, dish soap, toothpaste, deodorant comes to the house. It's convenience. It could be pouring rain. FedEx is going to deliver. And I didn't have to pack anybody up to go out and get that stuff. You know, the average consumer will not think that way because they're trying to, well, I'm going to get the best price of this, and that the products that I get are high quality. That stuff lasts me way longer than going to the dollar store and getting a dollar store product. And, you know, you're constantly going back. So I'm not, I don't think like the average consumer. And see, I know some people say, well, it's the average consumer, you know, it's because it's cheap. If that was the case, you know, stores like Office Depot, for instance, a lot of people, the majority of people go school supply shopping at Walmart or Target. We always go to Office Depot. Office Depot has better quality, better selection, and we get rewards. We get money back. So that is the reason why we go to Office Depot. We go to Target, we can't get that. We get straight their cost, and we think, oh, because it's a price rollback or it's marked down. They already marked up 50 other things, and then you go get that stuff too. So you're not getting a kickback. We're getting money back in the mail, you know, our money back. We're actually getting a savings that we can see on top of the Office Depot teacher discount. So that is the reason why. I do that. But, yeah, smart consumer. Because I'm cheap. I don't like to give. I don't like to give up money. I really don't. It takes me a long time to just give up my money like that. Hmm. Let's see. And sorry, I'm a bit behind on the chat. Says Wendy. Hello, by the way. Hello. Yes, and it really is important in this day and age that the children learn the value of sacrifice. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sacrifice is not always a curse. It could be a blessing. Exactly. In fact, most times it is. Yes, it is. Wendy also says a kid who learns the value of sacrifice will always be better off than the one who doesn't. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So, so my kids know, and they would look at us like, "Well, you have the money. Look where we. Yeah, I know where we live. Yeah, we have the money, but that doesn't mean you're getting ready to go into the pocket. There's a sacrifice. Not that we don't love our kids, but what are you willing to give up? Like I said, living in today's society, it's a microwave society. Everything is instant. We want instant this and instant that and instant this, and nobody wants to work hard and give up anything. Like I said, in 5 years, where you're sitting today, that's where you'll be in 5 years if you don't get yourself together. 5 years after that, if you're going to be in the same position, so it's really you're going to be in the same place. You cannot play out because it's hot right now. You have to wait a little bit.
No, it's
Not hot
We're only playing on the
on the porch.
Yes.
Only on the porch. So, I like to not stay in the same place too long. It's just that's not me. I need to see progress. I need to see growth. Same with the kids in their schooling. I have to see progress and growth. Wendy Sammy, a kid who learns the value of sacrifice will always be better off than one who doesn't. They will, and I'm, again, I'm glad that you are weighing in on that because I can sit here and say that, and somebody, no doubt is going to look at me like I'm foreign and just shake their head saying she's just, this or she's just that, and thinking I'm better than anybody. I'm not. You guys, when I come and talk to you, this is life. This is my life. Okay, this is life experience that I give you. I cannot speak for anybody else, but I have gone through so much through the trenches and come back. And if I was going through them, I would not be here if I didn't have the faith and the determination, the will. And if I had not known sacrifice, true sacrifice myself, I wouldn't be here today talking to you all. So, I care about you all. That's why I come like this because it is what it is. And I know a lot of you, a lot of people reach out to me and they have no family support. There are no friends. and they really, don't have anybody to turn to like this. Um, if it obviously, if you are offended, this is not the place to be, but that's not my intention at all. And the feedback is what keeps me going, and to know if it's something that I say and you don't have to agree. This it's not a agree. We're not here to agree because everybody is from a different walk. Okay, but if it's something you need some more clarification on or something like that, I'm fine. Now, I'm not going to clean up what I tell you. I think about what I say before I say it. Um, because eventually, if I try to do that later on in a blog or something else or another chat, somebody's gonna say, "Well, wait a minute, didn't she say?" I don't have time for that. I will just clarify. Give you another example and keep it moving. Maybe you can relate to that one. What's the matter? What's the matter with you? They didn't want to help you tie your shoelaces.
No.
Okay, let me see. You have to put your shoe on. Mm-mm. Are you gonna let me comb your hair?
No.
Okay, I'll leave that one. Still doesn't want me to do her hair. We'll have to talk about it. You good? Let me make sure that they don't bother you. Hold on, right back. Come on. Make sure they don't bother you. All right. Who else is sitting in today that has not said hello yet? Yeah, I'm not. I'm just kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, I'm not in here to overshadow anybody or um, look down on anybody or anything like that. That's not me. That's not me at all. Like I said, everybody's from a different walk. Everybody was raised differently, and that does determine who you are today. Your mindset. Some people can move beyond that, and what they grew up in, and they overcome circumstance. I've overcome lots of circumstance. And, I believe anybody can. It's just your mindset. No, I was that kid that you could never tell me I couldn't do anything because I would prove you wrong. I will still prove you wrong because I'm not going to go down without a fight. I might not be completely successful, but I'm darn sure going to try. And it's hard. It's just it's hard. It's hard being a woman today. It's hard being a mother. It's hard being parents. Um, it's just really hard. That's life, you know. Without struggle, there's no progress. You live and learn. Some things you attempt and you're not successful. You live and learn. You fall off the bike and get back up, not just leave it on the ground and walk away. So we have been here an hour, a little bit over an hour. Is there anything else that, any questions? Anybody would like answered? Any requests? Any more comments? Those of you that share the chat, I really do appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure the people that you share with are near and dear to you, and that is the reason why you share. It's a good thing because you never know who you may just be, faithful viewer and subscriber, might not get anything or much out of a chat or a video, but sharing, something she said reminded me of so and so. They may actually benefit, and I have heard of that happening lots, and so I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate when people share things with me that may be something that I need. Mhm. Mhm. It's awfully quiet in here. Wendy, what part of the country are you in? Go back up to this. Being crafty. Is anyone in here crafty? I mean, in the sense of arts and crafts. What do you make? I'm just, uh, I'm just curious like that. I hear a lot of people uh, trying to get into sewing these days again, baking and things like that. So that's why I asked. Anywho, guess that is pretty much all I have to chat about today. I said I've just been busy around here and it's playing in my head. It's just a lot to some prep work with it. So that is what I have been doing, and yeah, and with it comes sacrifice. So I said, getting ready to sacrifice my time to work, but it's not a bad thing. It's for a good purpose. And hopefully, in time, I will share with you all. But I know that my time here with you all is going to be even more so scheduled because of that. So I'm pretty flexible, but I know I have to have pretty set times for things. I can keep up the pace pretty much if I want to. Of course, there are going to be days when I just don't want to do anything, but like I said, I had to think about this and could I really do this? And I can. So, yeah, I won't be so much, it won't be as spontaneous with the vlogs and chats, and I've been pretty good with the vlogs, getting them up every day. And, but to be honest, I don't even vlog every day. So sometimes there probably won't be anything to even put up that I think that you all want to see. Hi, Vicky. So it just depends. But I don't know if you all want, daily vlog or that's the reason why I asked. I know in the homeschool front, when I did the y'all help me out. What did I just do? The in-service day. I asked in the comments if that's something you all want to see because I don't know, and I take in-service days and I just do different things. So, excuse me, if that's something that you all want to see, then you have to let me know because otherwise I won't even blog it. I'll just take it as um, Yeah, I might share something, but I won't specifically say it's in service day. It's just I'm doing X, Y, Z. But I know it's a good thing because I've heard many, I've seen many homeschool bloggers say that they, especially this current, year coming into this current year, they're planning on taking more in service days, and I think that's very beneficial. A lot of time, a while back, I didn't hear anybody, even saying that. They just were trying to keep up the pace. And then I also heard about this burnout. I never had homeschool burnout, and I couldn't understand that. It's because I take in service days. I'm not insane like that. And I'm not calling anybody insane, but I have to have peace of mind. So, yeah, I'm not one that we have to, if we don't get this page done or this chapter done, everything is going to fall apart. That's not us. So, I think we need to learn, to understand that we all need grace, and it's not a race. So, even if you take the whole summer off or you take the whole, 6 weeks off in the fall winter transition, you still need in-service days. There's a lot of prep work, so that is what I try to focus on sharing with you all, because I still am getting, how do you do this and how do you do that. And I think in that same video I shared that little I put that little clip in. My secret is simple. I put in work, and I do. I put in work. I'm sitting here always doing something. And when I don't feel like doing something, I don't feel like doing something. When I have those hyper intense moments where I'm just in overdrive, I try to get a whole lot more done than I need, because I know there are days that when I want an in service day, I just want a break. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do any laundry. I don't want to clean the house. I don't want to cook any food. I don't care if you put your clothes on. That type of day. So, I know everybody can relate to that. You can if that's the type of thing that you all want to see, then you have to let me know that. And so some of you are pretty good, because I do get the private messages or the text messages or phone calls or whatever, but sometimes some of you I don't hear from, and you never know. How are you, Vicky? How is everyone? It's so nice of you to join us. Wendy Sammy says hi, Vicky. Mm-hmm. I think what else I can say that is really non-homeschooling. Um, I don't know. My mind is not what it used to be. It's just sometimes, like I said, I want to chat with you all. I just don't want everything to be so scripted. And I'm not, I'm not scripted, but um, having notes for every little thing. But sometimes my mind is all over the place, so I have to write stuff down because I can have something that I want to talk about, and then I forget, or I forget what I wanted to say, the points, and so I learned just to kind of take a little bit of notes and go from there. But sometimes it's good to just come on and chit chat. Like I said, tea time. We're just sitting here having a conversation. If you are having tea, kudos. Ooh. And this heat is so crazy. I'm trying to stay in the house with that grass. I'm not a grass allergies get me every time. Doing so well. But so, I believe I will be back either Wednesday or Thursday. And it will be homeschool related. And I think I have something planned already. I know I do. My notebook is. Oh, it's down here. Let's see if I can look up look through my notes and see one of the topics. What is this? See, I did that one. I already did this too. Oh, Lord, I did those. I only have one topic left, and I guess that's the one I'm here for. I mean, I need to get my notes. I need to take some notes on this one. One I've been thinking about for a long time. Yeah, put some things on Instagram because that's not. Uh, I haven't done I haven't done any homeschool devotions lately, but that is what I'm going to do. I'll put something on there along this topic, and yeah, I don't think I want it. Homeschool mom wanted. It is the end of the year for many, and it is the beginning. For some it's the end of the first year, and for some it is this fall is going to be the beginning for many on their homeschool journey. So yeah, homeschool mom wanted, and I can tell you that this one is going to be quite interesting. So, yeah. I would like to have as many people as I can in on this chat because especially those who have been homeschooling for 3, 4, 5+ years. Yeah, it'll be a nice reflection for you and a great help for others. Like I said, I can get on here and just, speak from my own experience, but when we get together and just kind of chit chat about things, it makes things a little more colorful and interesting, especially because everybody has a different flavor. But this is something that I see and hear all up and down Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all in the homeschool community. I see it, hear it everywhere. So it's not to, not singling out any one person. That's completely not where it came from. And I kind of said something probably about 10 minutes ago along that line, but I'm not going to go back and give it away. Just the topic. That's enough spoiler. So, anywho, with that, I am going to end today's chat. And like I said, I will see you all on Wednesday or Thursday. And I will probably come in by 11. So sometime between 10 and 11. Because I know many people are out of school anyway, and it doesn't matter. And for us, we have things to do Monday and Tuesday, and we are flexible with what we're doing, so it won't cut into any of our time. Excuse me. So, hmm. I enjoyed you all today. For those of you that are watching on the video, I appreciate you, and hopefully you will join me on the next live chat and those thereafter. Peace out, guys.